Welcome to Cloud Glanam. Today we will discuss about the Microsoft Azure basics. For this source is the Microsoft and Google. So Azure is cloud computing platform which was launched by Microsoft in February 2010. It is an open and flexible cloud platform which helps in the development, data storage, service hosting, and service management. So the Azure tool is a host web application over the internet with the help of the Microsoft data centers. So cloud computing is the delivery of the computing service over the internet. So it is the virtual computing service include the common IT infrastructure such as a virtual machine and storage and database and networking. So cloud services they are also expanding these IT offerings like IoT, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So Microsoft they're providing each as a service in the Azure, so everything is we can call as a service in the uh, Azure cloud, and Microsoft is providing the update each month for the Azure. So we have the every month updates in the Azure from the Microsoft. And also Microsoft they are extending their data centers in the worldwide there to expand in the business from the Microsoft. So if you see here, what is the benefit instead of moving the from on-premises to the cloud? So if you see here in the on-premises control is application control is very high in the but in the cloud services control is very low, and economic of scale is nothing but a cost advantage is very low in the on-premises, but in the cloud we have the cost saving is very high by using the cloud services. So this is the generic thing cloud advantages we are getting instead of the in respect of the provider. So each provider we will get these benefits. So if you see increasing the compute power, so here PC performance is limited. At the same time you can run the most complex tasks using the clouds. In fact, one even work with a superior supercomputer without overplaying. So we will get the more compute power in the cloud rather than on premises. That is the one of the major thing here. And second thing, we will get the unlimited storage in the cloud. So we will get the we will store the use data, petabyte gigabytes data in the cloud. And third thing, the streamlining the data centralization. So cloud service provide the one location to store the data from various projects from the local sites. So this is nothing but streamlining the data centralization. Suppose if you have the one application, so the data will be stored into the various regions. So with respect to the regions users, it will be very easy to get the data very fast because of the data is stored various parts of the various locations. And the fourth one is the automatic update. So in the cloud you will get the automatic update, so you don't want to need manual updates here. So fourth one is the data loss prevention. So the cloud says distributed the replicated data to the servers that can be located access across the world. Moreover, cloud vendors have special offer for the sensitive data, namely and multi-level password and writing encryption. So your data will be stored into the different regions, so you don't there is no point to data loss prevention. Suppose if any one region fail to provide the data, automatically region 2 will active like that. Okay, so effective collaboration, the latest version of the files they available for each member of your team. So in the storage, if you updated anything in the file, you uploaded any file, within fraction of seconds it will affect to the all members in your team. So there is no waiting time like that. Okay, and major thing is the major advantage of the using cloud is the less human resources. So there is no need employee specialist to maintain the on-site servers. Yeah. So by using the cloud, so there is the less human resource compared to the on-premises, like you're reducing the resources here. And also we have the disadvantage cloud disadvantages here. If you see, first one is the loss of the control. Loss of the control is nothing but in the cloud services, so you are handling over the data as well as the application, so you are dependent on the cloud provider. Okay, so each thing you need to dependent on the cloud provider. So in case of any hardware failures or software issues, anything you need to depend on the cloud provider, because of you don't have the control, organization don't have the control here. Okay. Second thing, that disruption of the cloud services. So disruption of the cloud service is nothing but in case of any cyber attacks or power outage or loss of internet connectivity at the cloud provider end. So your business will suffer from the unwanted downtime. Okay. Cloud vendor shutting up. Suppose if any you have the one cloud provider, and your application on the your applications are maintaining the one of the cloud provider. Okay, so the cloud provider is planning to close their business, and they need to shut up the vendor. So in that case, you have the problem, you need to find the another vendor to move to another cloud vendor to move to your application from this vendor to that vendor. That is the one of the disadvantages here. And fourth one is the potential security threats. So here hackers are currently targeting high profile websites such as that prominent cloud service provider. So you have no control over the security of your data, application and software here. So you can suffer the loss and downtime if the cloud service provider security is breached. So here nothing but if the cloud service provider security is not that much high level, so attackers will attack the web application, cloud services, and they will they will they will get the the data on the high chances. They will hack your data, so organization will lose the data, and so that is the one of the major disadvantages. And another one is the vendor lock-in. So vendor lock-in is nothing but suppose if your application is the one of the vendor, so you are planning to migrate to another vendor. So in that case, that will be the one of the disadvantages, because of um, if you migrate your application to the this vendor to that vendor, so you will get the higher chances to get the errors. So because of compatibility, there is no compatibility for this vendor to that vendor, so it is the total, each thing is the different. So you may get errors while migrating to this cloud provider to that one cloud provider to another cloud provider. Okay, so next one is the wrong choice of the provider. So if one of the organization they're planning to they migrate to their application to the cloud, on premises to cloud. So for any cloud migration organization, they need to do some homework, which cloud provider is they're giving the more reliable and more security. They need to do some hard work on that. So based on that only, they need to they need to choose the correct provider for their respective applications, respectable data and all those things. Because of here, if they choose the wrong cloud provider, if any security breaches happen, so they lose, the organization will lose the data. Okay, and inadequate support. So some of the cloud providers fail to provide the adequate support for the to their clients. So suppose if any urgent support required, in that case cloud providers, they fail to provide the support in some cases. Okay, that is they need to fail the provide the support technically as non-technical also. Okay, these are the cloud disadvantages. If you see here, the cloud deployment, Azure cloud deployment models, we have the three deployment models here: private model and public model and hybrid model. Private model is nothing but a single tenanted environment over which organization to have the complete control with the regarding to architecture and configuration. So cloud, he in this case what happened, private cloud is nothing but organization, then they have the full control here, but cloud provider will provide the only architecture and configuration. So in remaining thing, everything organization will take care here. Okay. So we have the advantages and disadvantages here. If you see advantages, full customizable, so we can customize them as per the business requirement here, and we have the high level security here, and we will get the superior performance here. And also disadvantages also is there, to maintain the private cloud, we need the capital cost, that is we need the budget, and underutilization and high IT overhead. For this you need IT resources. Okay. And next one, public cloud. Public cloud is a multi-tenanted environment operated by the third-party service provider, in which organizations pay for the provisioned services. Okay. So here what happened now? The organization total thing they will give it to the third party and third party service provider, and they will maintain all those things. Just organization will pay the money to the cloud provider. So here what will happen now? Cost will be very less compared to the private cloud, so there is no capital cost. Cost is very less, and low IT overall, and people also that must not required here, and infinite scalability. So you will infinite scalability means if you suppose, as per the business rate, you can do the scalability of your application. So by depend upon the traffic data. Okay. And we have the disadvantage also, lack of the customization. So we will not able to do the customization as per the business needs here, and there is the governance issues. So some governments, they have the strict restrictions of their data, so they need to the governments will say they need to maintain the that people data in their country, like that. So restrictions is there in the government data here. And potential latency, we have the latency disadvantage also is there. Okay. Hybrid cloud is nothing but combination of this public cloud and private cloud. Okay, both will involve here. So advantage is a greater flexibility. We have the so much flexibility in the hybrid cloud, and resilience to outage we will not get that much in the hybrid cloud. And no capacity calling, so we don't that much cost is not here. And IT overall also very less in the hybrid cloud, and security also very high. And the disadvantage is also compatibility means here we have the so many cloud providers. So you have the one cloud provider, and you need to move to the another cloud provider, from this cloud provider to another cloud provider. At that time you have the compatibility issues, because of each one have the each thing. So you may get compatibility issues in the hybrid cloud. Next one is the Azure services. Azure service nothing but we have the three types of services here: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Infrastructure as a service, if the name itself, if you see infrastructure, so cloud provider will give the infrastructure in these IaaS services, and PaaS service, PaaS services, cloud structure will provide the platform, and the SaaS services, cloud provider will provide the software in this service. So if you see the examples, IaaS is nothing but infrastructure service. For this example, Azure Virtual Machine. So cloud provider will give the Azure Virtual Machine in this case, and the organization they will take care about the remaining things like application data and all those things. PaaS is the platform services, Azure App Services, and Azure SQL Database is the examples. SaaS is the Outlook, email, calendar, Microsoft 365 is the example. So we will see what is the difference between these things in the next slide. So if you see here, so this is the difference between the on-premises as and PaaS and SaaS. Okay, if you see here, that orange color is the customer responsibility, that is nothing but organization responsibility, and the blue color is the vendor responsibility, that is the cloud provider responsibility. So in the on-premises case, if you see data, apps, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, networking, storage, servers, everything need to take care of the organization. Okay, so there is no cloud involvement here in the on-premises case. So each everything taken care by the organization. Okay. So coming to the IaaS, infrastructure as a service, if you see here, servers, storage, networking, virtualization. So we will get the from the cloud, and remaining things like OS, middleware, runtime, apps, data. These the taken care by the organization. So here if you see, IaaS infrastructure giving the cloud provider, but remaining things, applications and software and middleware, all those things the customer, organization responsibility. So in the past, that is a platform as a service. In here, what will, each everything, cloud provider will provide the total platform here, like servers, storage, networking, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, platform, total platform, cloud will provide. Just organization they need to take care of the, need to take care of the apps and the data, their applications and data. Organization need to take care. Okay, so software as a service, everything, this is the software bundle. So cloud provider will provide this, SaaS service, SaaS as a service. So in this, everything taken care by the cloud provider. Just we will get that, software. So just we need to, organization need to configure the SaaS thing, like, if you see example as, SaaS the Outlook email. So we will get the Outlook, but just we need to configure the Outlook, that's it. So everything back and, everything taken care by the cloud provider only. So if you see here, responsibility and control, this is also difference. If you see here in the, IaaS, app configuration, application server configuration, operating system, antivirus, networking, these are the, taken care by the, organization. So once we got the, virtual machine from the, cloud provider, organization need to set up this all those things. So coming to the platform as a service, we will get the platform, the service from the cloud provider. So organization they need to take care about the app configuration and application and server configurations in this, PaaS service. And, SaaS service, if you see here in the SaaS service, only organization they need to configure the application. That's it. So nothing they need to total all those things, clouds, softwares and hardwares and work, OS and, networking, all this taken care by the cloud provider. Just, configuration, taken care by the organization here. So next part is the availability zones and region pairs. So, Azure is providing the, their services in the, multiple regions. We have so many regions they established that in data centers. If you see here, geography in the each geography, okay, in the geography we have the so many regions. So region they, we have the regions, and the regions consists of the availability zones. Availability consists of the availability sets. Okay, so if we in the geography we have it consists of the region. So Azure they will provide they have the data center in the region wise, and each region consists of the availability zones, and each availability zone consists of the, availability data set. If you see in the data set is nothing but, data centers in the each availability set here, nothing but, that, data center, location. Okay, so if you see here, what is the, single VM. So, if you see in the region and availability set and data center here, na? So that is the abbreviation here. So if you see single VM, that is the, nothing but the virtual machine on the Azure with no replication. Availability set is nothing but, combination of the, VMs running with VM one or more, replicated the copies than separate hardware within the same availability zone. Availability set nothing but in the one location we have the data in the, three, separated copies in the, one data center. That is nothing but availability sets. Okay, availability zones nothing but, running a, VMware with one or more replicated copies on, different availability zones, and providing them, resiliency against data center of the file. Availability zones nothing but, in single region we have the different data centers. Okay, so the different each data center, we can call as the availability zone. Okay, so that is the availability zone. Region pairs is, Region pair is nothing but running on the VM with one or more replicated copies and different Azure regions. Region pair is nothing but if you see here in the before slide we have the region 1, region 2. Okay, the region 1 will be region 2 will pair, that is we can call as a region pair here. If you see region pairs, region 1, region 1 2, if we pair, no, that will be called as a region pairs. So if you see here, already we discussed the single VM availability set. So this is the uh, abbreviation here. If you see here, single VM for the using for the easier lift and shift here, though it consists of only virtual machine here, and availability set is providing the protecting the data failures within the data centers. In the so available setting nothing sets nothing but the data center here. So by using the data centers we have the high availability. So if you consider the availability zones here, protection from the entire data center failure. So in the each region consists of the data center. So if you see in the example, region 1 consists of the three data centers. So if any data center fail, to automatically remaining data center 2 to 3 available for the data. So that is the availability zone, disaster recovery. So region pairs, already we discussed region pairs nothing but region protection with the data residence of the boundaries. So if you see in the region 1, region 2, so if any the difference between the region 1 and regions should be hundreds of miles. Okay, so if any one reason fail, in this case to provide the data failure to circum to the cloud environment failures, so for the natural disasters, if any reason failure, so automatically region 2 will be there for the to get the data here. So that is the nothing region pairs. So if you see here, we have the Azure regions here in the each total worldwide. We have the availability regions and announced. If you see the blue tick ground availability regions, and dotted lines is the announced regions, and blue is the availability zones. And if you see here, they're having the 50 regions worldwide and 140 available in on 140 countries. So they are trying to maximize the regions and available centers in the worldwide, and they are trying to get more availability regions and zones worldwide. Okay, thank you all. That's it from my end. um, Please subscribe my channel. Thank you all.